Welcome back to another virtual lunch with Jared Halal, sponsored by Inphlu. In today's live session, we will discuss creating realistic, achievable, and quantifiable goals that add value to a social media strategy. Jared, take it away.
Thank you so much, Morgan. We are back here again with another lunch webinar, less 30 minutes. We're going to get you some good advice and set some goals today with your social media. Of course, when we have a business, we all want to be very cognizant of our time, and we want to make sure that we are doing things that work. And the way that we can do that is we can set some goals, and we want to always analyze those as a business and make sure that we do more of the good things that happened and less of the bad things that happen, of course. We want you to be able to use social media for your business and to utilize it in such a way that it brings customers into your shop, into your door, online, or engaging with you as well. So that's what we're here to talk about today, is setting some goals that you can track and that you would be able to repeat over and over again. So when doing that, of course, with my customers, I'm always doing things based on other people's past experiences, and we want to re-engage that on social media. So if something worked before, we want to do it again, even if I'm coming into, say, a new client or a business. So I'm always talking to people in my industry or in my clients' industries that would allow me to do that, to find out what worked for them or what type of thing worked. And then we, of course, change it up. We make it exciting. We make it more aggressive, we make it more rude, whatever that is. We want to make it a little bit different. We want to try something that maybe pushes those boundaries as far as we can possibly make it. So the first step, of course, in creating smart social media goals is to know your social media platform. So if you're a brand new company, or even if you're a veteran company on social media, research those platforms that you're on, and make sure that the facts that you are reading about, whether it's the number of the percentage of men or women or the age groups that are on those social media platforms, follow and track with who your customer base is. So you want to know your customer here as well. But to start with, we're going to know the social media platform. So when we would come into a company, I would analyze what platforms they were on. I would research current facts about those social media platforms that they were using, and that way I could focus the attention on, say, the one platform that would help them the most. So in this case, we're looking at different sites for facts that would tell me what kind of audience is on Facebook. And of course, Facebook being the largest social media platform at the time, with the largest span of age, with the most engagement and that type of thing as well. So there's a lot of businesses on Facebook, of course, and of course Instagram and TikTok that is growing so greatly that we don't want to neglect those. But you're going to research the one that fits your audience, your potential client, the best. So we find out facts about Facebook, things like 65% of the users are under the age of 35, and this is as of 2019. About 6 out of 10 people in the US are on Facebook age 12 and over, and they use it. 98% of those Facebook users are choosing to use their mobile phones over using a desktop. So we want to take all these things into consideration as we form an opinion about which social media platform we're going to focus on the most, and maybe only in the first for our clients. Of course, it's not always possible to choose just one social media platform, so you're probably going to create some sort of fact sheet about several of the social media platforms. It's always good to know, because say a year from now you want to add a social media platform like Pinterest. You want to know, why am I doing this, or is this the appropriate audience for that to happen? So of course, at the time, 2020, 2019, Facebook is really the king of social media. and it's the leading social platform, reaching about 59% of social media users. So the next thing you want to do after you've researched the social media platforms that you're currently using or that you hope to use, taking into account the age groups and the types of interest on those social media platforms. You want to know your audience as well. So the way you would know your audience, if you do not currently have a social media platform, of course, you can survey, you can know that your clientele look a certain, have certain traits and then buy certain things and act in a certain way. So you want to be able to do that. But on social media, you're going to use things like social insights of your page, of your Facebook page, or your Instagram page, to learn who the audience is when they're online, what are the breakdowns in their age, and that type of thing. So all these things are very important because as you target your smart social goals around these people, you want to make sure you're when you're working with a marketing firm or a graphic design firm, they're going to take all this into consideration. Is what are we marketing? What's our message going to be? How it's going to be? It's going to be video. It's going to be images. It's going to be text. And how are we going to write that text or say what we need to in audio or video form or photos? So they're going to research this, but you want to know this as well, of course, as a business owner. And so you're going to use the social insights of your current page, and you're going to make sure to just really dig in and find out how many men, how many women, how many people are a certain age group, where they live, that type of thing. So you're going to use the information on your current social media to learn about your audience, but also using the information you have from your current customers as well, and that are pleased. So of course, putting those things together, you're going to choose which platform you're going to focus on for this first smart social goal. And that platform could be Instagram, and you're going to use that in a certain way. Of course, it's very visual. TikTok, of course, being very video and music oriented. And then you might choose Twitter as well, being mostly text oriented, but images coming into play there as well. So you're going to choose a platform or two to really monitor that goal. You're going to monitor the results of that. So you're going to choose a platform that reaches the most people that are potential clients, given your current business resources. So if you can only do one platform because you've got a limited amount of time, you want to make sure to focus on that one. So what are SMART goals? They're a specific thing. They're very, very specific. You're going to write out a goal that is very detailed, and that tells you that in 3 months, you're going to try to reach this goal with a concerted effort, with consistency, with advertising, whatever you plan to do with social media. So what is SMART? We've all heard this. It's specific, it's measurable, it's achievable and realistic. Those kind of go in hand in hand, and it's timely. It's always going to have an ending, because we want to make sure that when we are completing this goal, that we analyze the data. We say 3 months from now. It's not an unreasonable time. Sometimes it's 6 months from now. Very rarely would it be, hey, in a week, I'm going to reach 15% more people. That's not necessarily the goal. You want to make it out enough that you can get some results. So it's very specifically written. An example would be something like, we will increase the engagement on our posts in the Southern Indiana and Louisville areas by 15% in the next 3 months. So our goal is to do this. So the plan is written very specifically, and you can evaluate that at the end. Did it reach 15% more people in these areas? Did our website get more traffic, this much more traffic in 3 months? Did we gain 10% more followers in this 6 month or 12-month period? So it needs to be measurable. As I just said, you're going to put a percentage or an amount to it so that you can gain those measurable data, and you can analyze that at the end of the time period. Then, kind of going hand in hand, is it achievable? According to the research you do within your industry, and of course, with the help of a marketing firm, is to find out, is is this an attainable goal? If you are actively engaged, if you're actively advertising, you're putting some money, you're putting some time, you're putting some effort into this, can you reach this goal, or is it possible to get close to this goal? And then realistic, is the goal important to the company to increase the reach? Are you looking at it as a way that is realistic, and it's not saying that we're going to make everybody, wear a blue hat in a picture for the next 12 months? No. What is the goal? What is something that you can make that happen? Timely. You're going to set a time on it. You're going to say 3 months, 6 months, a year. We want to get results on social media. Generally, that starts at 3 months and it goes as long as 6 months, unless you've got a really engaged audience already. So we want to make sure we make it timely so we can analyze at the end, sometimes during that whole campaign. So how will we attain the goal? We will test the following to encourage the engagement. So this is an example of something we might do for a real estate company. To increase the engagement, we might create a group about home improvement. So we want to find people that want to get home improvement tips, maybe it's local, and we would encourage home improvement companies and other people to participate in that, so that we get those market tips. And so really what we would do is focus on the home improvement part of it, but if it's a real estate company, we want to make sure every once in a while we've kind of got that market tip in there, that if someone in this group is ready to sell a house or flipping a house, ready to sell it, buying property, that type of thing, they're getting great advice most of the time, really all the time, about everything, but great advice on home improvement, and then very little, we're going to talk about marketing tips and that type of thing. So that real estate company can sell a little bit of their product in there, meaning they can offer their services for buying and selling homes as well. So that company might, number 2, change their posts to show their employees talking with customers. So instead of being text driven or just text and image, maybe we make sure that we get more video out there. So we're going to have people talking to the camera. We're going to have interviews in there. We're going to be talking to professional experts about home improvement and how-tos and that type of thing. So we want to make sure we have within the group and within also the company, the real estate company itself, some videos that lead them into this group so that they can then engage the group in a much different way. Because on Facebook, for example, a group that someone selects to be part of is seen more often on someone's feed than, say, the business. And of course, beyond that, we want to make it would be personal people. And this is the last part. We want to make sure that real estate team is sharing posts from the company that pertain to this group, and we want them to be able to invite people to this group, so that customers they have know that we're here for you, whether you want to buy and sell a home or whether you just want home improvement. We want you to be happy in your home. So this would be an example of something that we would change or do to try to get this engagement up and get our reach out to that first goal of 15%, the engagement of our posts in the next 3 months. So as we implement this plan, then we want to make sure that we're doing some certain things every day, every week, very consistently. We want to motivate others. We want to get a team together, it might be our real estate team in this case, or our employees. We want to get our cheerleaders, our current customers, to be in there and to be engaged if they can be. We would put incentives out there for sharing, and we want to make sure that there are ways for our customers and our employees and ourselves, of course, and other people in our community, our local community, or our community on social media, to be able to motivate others to participate in this plan. So in this case, it might be adding them to the group, inviting them to the group. Hey, I've got an article now that I'm starting to publish. It's within this home improvement small group in Facebook or on this page on Instagram, everyone's encouraged them to participate and to motivate so you're motivating others. You're creating this team and this synergy that just is exciting and that gets people to go into the group so that that 15% goal is really can be reached within that 3-month period. You're going to make sure to reach out. You're going to reach out to your community, both online and in the physical local community, if you're able, your family, your friends, your current customers, and especially your employees. That's the core of making your business grow and this reach happen. You want your employees to try to be engaged as well. And there are ways to do that. There's tools out there that help you get companies, employees to be part of sharing posts and sharing goals. Inphlu is one of those, of course, sponsoring this this video, and Inphlu is able to allow small businesses to share content with their employees that actually is the employees then can share that natively with LinkedIn. And so they're able to share that content on LinkedIn so that hiring and company branding comes directly from the company, the corporation, and it is shared out by the employee directly. So there's not kind of a third party there. It's actually going out directly to the employee. So it's kind of a neat tool with Inphlu that helps you reach out and helps your employees reach out with native company approved content. So the other little facts here, have fun with this. During the whole process, make sure you're making that 3-month process weekly or monthly or whatever fun. Hand out prizes, make sure there's giveaways. Do what you can do within your budget, but always be positive. And your goal, of course, is to, just like a runner, you want to reach the finish line. And so to do that, you've got to have positive mindset. You've got to talk a positive mindset. And you want to do that for sure with your friends, family, and employees, other community leaders as well. So have fun with that. Keep it positive. Get to events. Make sure people are joining your group on Facebook. Be engaging also on your social media platform, whatever you choose. So finally, at the end of this and during this, you always want to give thanks. You want to be humble. You want to thank people for their support of your company. You want to, if you're doing some sort of giveaway, you want to thank them for their participation. If you reach a milestone, let your employees know that especially, but also let your customers know that. So if you're trying to reach a certain number of users on Instagram or followers on Instagram or people liking your page on Facebook, kind of put that out there and thank everyone that supports you and make that a positive experience for everyone. And I would say these kind of rules are great to have throughout your business when you're on social media, is to be consistent, to be out there engaging. If you're going to have a social media page, just like if you're going to have an open door on your shop or store, you want to be engaging with people and being consistent with them with your posting. You want to be positive, and you also, at the end of this, of course, we're going to have someone to probably report to, whether that's yourself or a boss. You're going to want to make sure you give those reports regularly in some way, so we see how things are going, especially at the end of that target goal, that timely goal. So when you get all this together and you're implementing and testing your goal, you want to, at the end of that time period, whatever it is, 3 months or whatever, evaluate those results and make sure that you are doing the good stuff again. If it didn't work, maybe just adjust the goal, the specifics of that goal. Hey, we almost reached it. Let's do this, but let's do it over 6 months instead of 3 months. Always stay true to the plan that you agreed upon. Be authentic with your company and with yourself. And you must also be consistent. So it's not something you can just drop for a week. It's probably something you're going to engage with several times throughout the week and those 6 months that you're there. So as we kind of finish up here, I'll just reiterate what a smart social media goal can be. Is it needs to be very specific. It needs to be written out in as much specificity as you can. You want it to be measurable, so you're going to put a metric to it, a percentage, a number of customers, a number of followers, something like that, number of sales, of course, and that's what you want it to turn into ultimately, is taking care of your business and your employees. You want it to be achievable and realistic. You want it to be something that would be not totally in the sky all the time, although let's reach for the sky. Make it something that you can really achieve and be realistic with. And you can always do this goal and then wow, we really blew it out of the water. We did a great job. Instead of 15%, we hit 30%. Well, next time, guess what? Your low ball is 30%. So you're going to make sure you go back in there and you're going to create a goal that would be 50%. So you want to change the goal for each time you do a campaign, or each time you have a SMART goal for your social media. Change it so that it reflects the knowledge that you gained from the last time you had that campaign. And finally, you want to make sure it's timely and that you report back at the end of that. Timely meaning that this is a long-term goal. It's 3 months, it's 6 months, it's a year, might be longer than that. And you want to regularly report. And then at the end of this, you want to analyze and report as well. In the middle of this, or at each quarter of the time period, if things aren't looking so good, kind of steer the ship a little differently so that you make sure that you're going towards those goals. Take surveys and ask people what they think we should be doing. And that's part of motivating your employees and your coworkers and just your team as well. So as you set SMART social media goals, make sure to encourage others to be part of it, create that team, and make it so that you are engaging with them, and hit those metrics as well. That's really important. Make sure that you're being specific and that you analyze the data at the end of this. Thanks so much. Next week, we're actually going to talk about something that we all sometimes hate to do, is we're going to talk about finding testimonials for your social media campaign. So finding how and what can I do and how do I get these testimonials. I will bring some samples of testimonials and what people are doing. And I just encourage you to come back next week on Thursday at noon for 30 minutes, and we'll talk about testimonials next week. Thanks for joining me for Smart Social Media Goals, sponsored by Inphlu.